My name is Travis Carey, and I'm originally from upstate New York. If we have any baseball fans out there, just outside of Cooperstown. And I moved here in 2008. I reluctantly bought my first house in 2012 and then fell in love with the process. So I bought numerous houses, did flips, investments throughout 2012 to 2022. And then decided that I should get my license because I keep getting questions about how do you buy, how do you sell, how do you renovate, and just decided I should probably officially get licensed and start working with people to help them to realize the same goals as what I had.
Travis, what makes for a good rental property? What lessons have you learned along the way, good and bad?
Yeah, amazing stories. So I don't know if that could go either direction. I do
5
have,
minutes.
I do have amazing stories. Yeah, well, I will say that again, kind of to echo what I was saying earlier. When somebody sees from the outside, you bought this property, it appreciated in value, you've got monthly cash flow. It looks sexy and nice, and that's what they want for their own life. What they don't see is that sometimes they went skiing on the weekend and you fixed the toilet. I'll tell you, when the Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship, it was about 9 o'clock at night and my basement flooded at my rental property. So I say all of that because if anybody's thinking about getting into investment properties, you have to also be prepared that this is not just glorious all the time, and that there's definitely sacrifice that goes into it. And from a financial standpoint, it takes time to get your feet underneath you. You don't buy a house with a 20% down payment and then have an $800 or $1,000 cash flow per month. The numbers just don't work. It's a process through it. But no, as far as like my rental properties, and this has been a lesson that I've learned over a long period of time, when you're new at doing this, you want to make it look awesome, and you're willing to spend the extra money to get a little bit of a nicer floor, or do a two-toned wall, or do the extra pieces. And really, when it comes to investment properties, your goal is to make it a low-maintenance property that looks good, that you don't have to have a constant touch on over and over and over again. And I would say one of the other big factors that took me 7 or 8 years to really grasp the concept and become good at is screening, is putting the right people in your houses. The last thing you want to do is overpay for different renovations or repairs and then put somebody in the property that's not going to adequately take care of it. So those are some of my very brief bullet points when it comes to this.
Do you have an amount that you recommend having in reserves per property, like a percentage of, what rent you collect or how many months collected? I see a lot of different strategies on that.
Yeah. My strategy is I want to have at least the ability to replace each furnace at each house. So $5,000 per house. That doesn't sound like much, but I want to back up a little bit from a financial standpoint here on this. You want the cash readily available. That's where people get themselves into trouble. If you're having to borrow money to make repairs. So I have a reserve, but then I also have funding that's easily available, that's safe. I don't have a specific number, but I always think about it as at any given point, $5,000 could be the repair cost. That's a furnace, that's an air conditioner. A hot water heater is not that expensive, but those are some costs for just routine maintenance. But then you also have to plan on at least one vacancy per year. So if you figure into your numbers, 11 out of 12 months are going to be rented. That's a safer number to look at. Colorado, you don't need an attorney to close. I'm from New York. You have to have an attorney when you buy real estate. There's this is a significant transition and transaction that when people are buying a home. And when I was younger, years ago, you price shop. And I think, if I had a magic wand, it's to instill just time to think about this. When you do your taxes, you hire a tax professional. If you have a cavity, you go to a dentist. If we hire professionals, and the more you surround yourself with people that are good at what they do and value their work and value doing things with excellence, the better of a place you'll find yourself in life. And the more that you surround yourself with whatever the cheapest option is and whatever you can do for the least amount of money with the least amount of experience and take the easy road, the more of a difficult situation you're going to find yourself. And that goes far beyond real estate. But I think especially in real estate, when this is the biggest investment of your life, it's worth finding the right value in an agent. So.